Hey everyone, this is Eliza. You can connect with me on Instagram at forever.humblingjournaling. Right here is a printable by Creative Faith Co. It's called Entwined. And what I'm using here is a circle trimmer by We Are Memory Keepers. It is really a great tool. I thought, what a great idea to use this circle trimmer to make the printable into a circle. So you see here, I'm just using black cardstock because I needed something hard for the front cover and the back cover. So I'm making a couple circles. And what I'm gonna do is I wanted something really cute to be on the front, so I decided to print out an extra entwined printable for the front to use for the front of the notebook. So that's what I'm doing here with the circle trimmer. Just trying to see where should I actually make the circle so that the entwine could actually be like directly in the middle of the notebook. So then I decided, okay, I needed something a little bit harder, a little bit sturdier. So hey, why not upcycle? So that's what you see me doing here, is just using like the cardboard that came with the chipboards. So I'm just using upcycling that, and I'm going to use those to put in between the black cardstock. You'll see that actually in a minute after I do this one. And I mean, I'm always trying to upcycle. You can use so many things to like make things for printables, stickers. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to take some Beacon mixed media glue and just put glue around the edges of the circle. And one of the things that I like about the Beacon mixed media glue is that, like a lot of other glues, like, because they're more like even though this is wet, it dries like almost immediately. I love it. I use it in mostly all my videos. I've used it. And unlike other glues, like I like paste, like the glue sticks, but they tend to leave impressions on the back of my journaling pages. And when I go to do entries on the back of those pages, you can actually see the creases of where I've used the paste for different ephemera and like cutouts and stickers and things like that. And also when you use things like wet glue, like the Tombow or Elmer's glue, it warps the pages really bad. So, and then it takes super long to dry. So that's one of the things I love about the Beacon mixed media glue, is it dries almost instantly. It doesn't leave any warping of the pages. And you can also find this. I bought this from Hobby Lobby, actually. You can also find it at Joann's. I think Michael's might have it. They have different variations. You might see at Joann's fabric glue, which is pretty much almost the same thing. It has the same ingredients. I think it's just given a different name at different places. So that's one of the great things that I like about the glue, and it's actually washable after 24 hours. So if you really need it to like pull something up, like you can pull it up or you can wash it off. Also, I've used this glue on like things like chipboard pieces. I've actually also used it on like metal pieces for journals, and it sticks. It holds really, really well. So that's one of the reasons why y'all are probably always seeing me use this mixed media glue, because I just love it. The only time I really use my tape runner is just to do like light pieces of die cuts and things like that. But when it comes to having to use cardstock, I pretty much use the mixed media glue. Now here is the Heidi Swapp Cinch by We Are Memory Keepers. I really, really love this tool. Sorry guys, I had to switch positions. I don't really have any up tech, whatever you want to call it, technology. So I had to actually switch positions so that you could actually see what I'm doing. So right here, and you have to, when you use this, you always want to make sure that you use like a scrap piece of paper to get it the exact way you want it. So the knobs that you see me pulling, they basically tell you what punches that you don't want to use. So when you pull the knobs out, it doesn't punch when you push it down. So what I'm doing is trying to get a perfect punch for the circle notebook. So I'm trying to figure out which punches I want to use, which ones I don't want to use. And you always want to make sure you do it on a scrap piece of paper first. So that's what you see me doing now. That's what I was just showing you. So you know exactly where you want to punch it, because you don't want to punch something and then you like mess up and have to start over. So if you can see me, that's pretty much what I'm doing now. So I found the punches that I wanted to use, and you just have to carefully sit it in there so that you don't punch the areas where you have to make sure you really sit it in there like really carefully, because sometimes what has happened is I've punched something and the hole's punched right at the edge and it wasn't really like a punch. So it's kind of like I missed it a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is they have these little, I don't really know if there's like a name for the knobs, but you take the band wire, and then you sit it on the knobs, and it just holds the wire so that you're able to sit everything that you want on there without doing it yourself. So once you sit the wires on the knobs, you want to make sure that you put everything from back to front, and that's so that you don't put a notebook together and then it's cinched wrong. Then you have to take it apart and then put it back. So always make sure, like if you have one of these and you do have a notebook, make sure the back cover goes first. And that's what you see me doing, is putting everything from back to front. So once you do that, that's a Heidi Swapp wire cutter. You just cut the piece of the wire that you don't use, and you can use that for another project. And you turn it to the back, and then see the little knob on the top. That knob is for how like when you press it down, how far it goes down. So you see me turning it because it wasn't far enough. So you turn it and it goes all the way down. So that, you guys, that's how I made the Entwined Devotional with the Heidi Swapp Cinch by We Are Memory Keepers. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can catch me on Instagram at Forever Humbling Journaling. Thank you.